this week's episode of Smart Money Sundays. I hope you're doing very well and ready to crush it this week. All right, so I guess I'll recap very quickly some of what we've spoken about in the last couple of episodes and obviously how it's played out very beautifully. So I really hope that you've been paying attention, marking the levels down, and learning why we pick specific levels in the market. Okay, so as you remember last week on Euro USD, I told you I was not convinced that this was the low, okay, and that price would more than likely run this low where we were sticking to our overall bias, our overall point of interest. We were sticking to our guns. Obviously, you know, last week price ran that low as expected and traded into that POI very beautifully. As you can see, the high here on the daily time frame as well, that inefficiency. Okay, and then NFP obviously gave it that catalyst to push it to the upside. So in terms of the here and now, if you didn't get in last week from the level we spoke about on the episode, in terms of the here and now, I could see Euro USD. All I want to see is a retracement down into discount. Okay, I expect this to be the structural low that produces our next higher high, at least trading into our higher time frame objective we've been speaking about for quite some time at 1.2300. Could very easily make a new high, okay, but I'm just going to be targeting this level here where we ran out the liquidity. Okay, so obviously just looking for a retracement back down into discount. I'm looking at kind of the inefficiency here on the 5-minute time frame, 1.2130. Now price could very easily just simply respect this candle here as well. Okay, but I prefer for it to get a little deeper into discount so we can get that nice risk to reward trade up into our higher time frame POI. Okay, so very good looking price action, and this is why it's important to stick to your gut. Okay, you can't just chase kind of intraday, intra-week volatility. And when price hasn't traded into the levels that you're very confident price needs to trade into. Okay, and obviously, you just go back and watch the previous episodes as to why we were looking at specific levels. Okay, so that's EU, just looking for that retracement now to get that higher low and then hopefully hit that objective by midweek, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. AUD USD, another one that obviously we spoke in depth about the last couple episodes and what we were looking at. Obviously, you all know that we were looking at this as being such a clean retail textbook head and shoulders that it could not possibly work out in their favor. Okay, sure enough, as expected, price ran the neckline very swiftly, traded into our POI, our box here that we've noted the last two episodes as well, and then rallied. Okay, and we love to see that. We love to see them run the neckline of a head and shoulders, hit those stop losses, trigger the sell stops, and then the subsequent expansionary rally to the upside. Okay, and obviously higher time frame objectives have not changed. 7,900, 7,950 is what we're looking at. Okay, so again, here and now on AU, again, just looking for discounted prices. Okay, first point of call for me is going to be this cluster of candles here, kind of at 7,700. If we do get deeper into discount, then obviously we have our 5-minute inefficiency here at 7,680 as well. Okay, so two levels here on AU, looking to price in that higher low, hopefully kind of London session Monday, potentially New York Monday, and then we'll get long on AU. Now GBP USD is another one. And if you've been paying attention for quite some time, you all know that this level was given out weeks ago. As you can see, it was hit to the T on Friday, and then obviously rallied with NFP as the catalyst. Now, if you had taken that level that was pointed out a while ago, obviously at its peak would have hit about a 1 to 14 on Friday, and then to our overall objective would be a 1 to 25. All right, so very clean price action. Obviously now we've created relative equal highs, and so in terms of a POI, I'll be looking at 1.4140 as my first point of call, and this down close here, 1.4127 as the next point of call. As you can see, trading above that 1 hour 50 EMA now. Okay, so I expect price to at least trade into this low within this lower time frame structure here, running out these highs. So that'll be kind of a first intraday, intra-week target, but ultimately I'm expecting 1.4250. We can go back into the past and I'll show you why. Okay, so 1.4285 would be the 6 hour up close here. That was never accounted for. Obviously you can see the imbalance here. This is where we ran out significant old high in the past. Okay, so I'm expecting at least 1.4285, potentially even 1.43, 1.4320 on cable. Okay, so again, looking for excuses to buy. More or less just been in some type of range reaccumulation and had that nice rally from NFP on Friday. Okay, so we'll look to get those continuations again, London or New York on Monday, hopefully. All right, Euro JPY, another one very straightforward we've been talking about. It's been in a massive uptrend. Okay, and will continue to be more than likely until price trades into our higher time frame POI, 135.8, 13600. Okay, so until price reaches that level, I will be looking for excuses to buy this thing at discount. Obviously, we're kind of at discount right now. Looking at this 1 hour level, 133.1, would be nice to see that reaction and then the subsequent breach of this up close candlestick. I would like to see price take out this up close and then look for that pullback and continuation to go ahead and run out this trend line liquidity and then make a new high in the market. Okay, so very clean, very straightforward. You know what we're looking for there. All right. GBP CHF, another one we've been focusing on, obviously still within this range here. My overall objective, this region of price 1.2900, 2950, is still valid, still in the cards in my opinion. Okay, but for now we are maintaining within this range, okay, of accumulation. It would be nice to see that breakout. Okay, last couple weeks we were looking at obviously this level here, the high daily inefficiency, had that nice rally to the upside. Okay, and then last Sunday we were looking at this candle as our next POI, which we traded into, got the fill and a nice movement to the upside. Now what worries me about this is the fact that we didn't create a new high. As you can see, higher low, lower high, respect the up close here, which traded into a lower time frame up close here, which ran liquidity. Okay, so that tells me there is now still a possibility that we take out this low, because we've created a lower high, there's a possibility that we take it out, run lower into this level down here, 1.26173, this kind of area here. Okay, that'll be my second point of interest. My first point of interest is going to be 1.26945. Now this could just be where we're trapped inside of a wedge now. And obviously we have our higher time frame objectives, so we're still favoring bullish intent here. So it could be where obviously higher low, lower high, and it just wedges itself. Okay, I would expect then if that were to occur to run out this low, trade into obviously 50% of this move here that happened in London Open on the 2nd of June, ran out this low here. Okay, so first point of call is going to be to run out this liquidity here, trade into 26945. We'll be looking for accumulation there to get long. And then obviously our second level, if we do end up breaking, creating another move to the downside, this will be our secondary point of interest here. Okay, so that is GBP CHF. Now the last one I want to cover today is actually US 30. Okay, now this one is very, very interesting. If we look at the 6 hour time frame, you can see how we had this last up close buy to sell and a massive, massive sell off to the downside. And this move looks somewhat corrective to me, in my opinion. Okay, so this to me, this kind of institutional volume, the breadth, I guess not breadth, I don't know how you would, what word you would use, but you can see the size of these candlesticks is very large. Okay, it's showing me big volume to the downside. And obviously it took a lot longer to retrace than the rally did. Okay, so if you understand anything about law of effort, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so US 30 last week had an interesting reaction off of our up close candle here, okay, on the 6 hour. So this could be the early signs of a short-term shift in market structure. It could enter into a short-term, medium-term bearish market. Okay, and if that were the case, I will be looking at this 15-minute up close from equity market open last week on the 1st. I'll be looking at this as a POI with a very tight stop. Okay, and if we do end up creating another lower high, then I think this thing could potentially actually melt. Okay, and remember, we are still in a massive uptrend, higher time frame, weekly time frame. Okay, as you can see, the major sell to buy. Okay, now this would just be a correction, higher time frame, lower time frame downtrend, but higher time frame maintaining its structure. Okay, now if we do overall, I expect this weekly down close that was never accounted for at 28,300. Okay, so if you are looking to swing this wouldn't be a terrible point of interest to take those short positions. Obviously, to that higher time frame target would yield about 110%, which I would take any day. Okay, so if we gap here, I won't be taking it. I would prefer for price to open up, kind of sell off a little bit, and then London open or New York open on Monday. Get that mitigation of our 15-minute here, and then the big sell-off. And I'd really like to see that. All right, so that wraps up this week's episode. Again, I hope you take notes and are marking off these levels that we're handing out every single week. You know, literally just watching Smart Money Sundays every Sunday can pay massive dividends, and I'm sure there's some of you who do that, so kudos to you. All right, hope you have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, please message us on Telegram at ArielFX Trading. We'd be happy to assist you or get you involved in our community. All right, have a blessed week. Thanks.